Hey Gear Seekers, I'm Nick. Now we've got a stack of new MATX boards and a bunch of new MATX cases, and in the last motherboard video I promised that I would do a build with that new BioStar motherboard, so that's exactly what I did in this video. So yeah, let's do a build thing, right? I'm a big fan of MATX systems and MATX hardware and just MATX. I think it's one of the best form factors. It's small, you can pack a lot of really high-end components into it. So I decided that today was the day that we would give a new MATX case a spin, the Masterbox MB320L ARGB from Cooler Master. So yeah, that's exactly what we're gonna do in today's video. And with these builds, like the reason why we do them is really to give you guys some inspiration for beautiful PCs of your own. These builds are usually showcase builds. We do a little bit of benchmarking, but it's less about the case and it's always about the finished product. So with that said, let's see how we got here. Ladies and gents, let's visit our friends over at Peel Corp. It's been a little bit of a while, so let's see how they're doing and do a peel. Are you ready? Are you ready, Claire?
Always. nice.
Are we gonna get a nice one today?
Yes.
Finally? Here we go. Oh, Cooler Master, bringing the realness. Ooh. Man, that's sounding pretty good. I'm not eating it. I'm not gonna eat it. You know why? I've got a double peel today. Visiting the corp of peel. The peel corpse. Come on, I got fat fingers, I can't do this. Why is this? No, I refuse your help and assistance. We're gonna peel together. Ready? Oh, I got it. Ready, pork chop? Look at this. You gonna have a go? She's like, I don't know what's going on right now. Ooh, what's that sound? Well, that's a really good one. What do you reckon, Choppy? She got scared. she's not having any of it. Bye. And speaking of saying goodbye, yeah, B-roll time. Let's go. ladies and gents, I hope you enjoyed the build in this brand new Cooler Master case, the MB320L ARGB. But first, let's talk about the parts because that's everyone's favorite part of the video. The motherboard we went with is the BioStar B550 GTQ. Now, BioStar isn't usually a vendor or, sorry, a motherboard manufacturer that we would use on the channel, but I decided that I wanted to give it a go because they did send us this board and I thought it was interesting enough to do a build with. And from the tests and all the benchmarking and everything that I did with this board, like stuff that we're not going to be showing in this video that we'll talk about in a completely separate video, I actually quite like this board. and it did actually surprise me. For the CPU, we went with the AMD Ryzen 5 3600X. The reason why I picked this CPU is because I can, and I don't have a 3600. Otherwise, I probably would have stuck a 3600 in here because that would be like the perfect CPU for a build like this. For the GPU, went with the Gigabyte GTX 1660 Super Gaming OC. The reason why I picked it is because it kind of suits the aesthetic of this build and the rest of the parts in the system. It's kind of like a nice balance for this type of gaming PC. The people out there with the really keen eyes would have probably have noticed that the RAM changed mid-build. It changed from Team Group Delta R to G.Skill Trident Z. The reason for it is I forgot with these Cooler Master cases and these chassis with the MATX cases that the AIO won't fit in the top with that Team Group memory. It's been a little while and I actually forgot that it wouldn't fit. So obviously I had to change the RAM out. So if you're going to be building in a case like this and mounting the AIO to the top of the case, keep that in mind that your RAM will need to clear the cooler. So yeah, other than that, the cooler we went with, speaking of the cooler, is the Cooler Master ML240R ARGB with a custom Gear Seekers pump top. Now every time we use our Gear Seekers pump tops, people always ask where they can get them from. You can't get them. They are completely limited edition. Cooler Master made them for us. There's only a handful of them and we have all of them. So yeah, that's why you can't get them, because they made them specifically for us. So yeah. As for fans and RGB and all that jazz, because everybody loves to talk about RGB, the front fans are included with the case. They're Cooler Master ARGB fans. There's an MF120 ARGB at the back, and these are the fans that come on the cooler as well. So yeah, and the way that we connected it up is we use the big Cooler Master controller, one of these ones here, the one that actually comes with the cooler. I have a couple of these separately just because we use them for builds quite often. And I configured everything in Master Plus, and everyone always asks, how do you do the split lighting? You can only do it in RGB software that allows you to assign individual LEDs, and that's the way that we usually did it. And I went with like a blue color and with a pinky purple and a little touch of white in there for a little bit of spread of color. But yeah, I like how it turned out, and it's a pretty decent build. As for the case, the Cooler Master MB320L ARGB, as I mentioned, it's based on a familiar Cooler Master chassis. I can't remember which one it is from the top of my head, but it's super easy to build in. The cable management is pretty good. It's like most Cooler Master MATX cases. They're all basically the same kind of platform. The power supply, you can put any power supply in it that you really want, provided you don't need spinning rush drives. Otherwise, I'd probably recommend not going above 140 to 150 mil in the power supply department. Overall, I think it's a nice aesthetic. It's got this kind of, they call it a dark mirrored front. Let me see if I can show you guys. It's an acrylic front panel. It's similar to the MB530P from memory, except that I think that one's actually glass. But yeah, it's like a similar design to that case. Temperature wise, it's pretty average, I'm not gonna lie. We did some thermal testing, as you're about to see a little bit later in the video. But everything else other than that, I think the case is pretty nice. And if you pick some nice balanced parts for it and you're not going for like a supercomputer with an RTX 2080 Ti and a 3950X, I think this case is actually pretty decent. Now there is another version of this case. It's called the MB311L ARGB, and it's got a mesh front, which we will be doing a build with a 3950X very, very soon. I'm just waiting a little bit. I don't want to like give you too many of these Cooler Master builds all in one go, but that will probably be coming sometime next week, and it will be another MATX build with way more intense specs than this build here. But yeah, I just wanted to do something a little bit different. All right, it's time to check out all the benchmarks. We ran our regular suite of benchmarks and thermal testing. So I'm gonna stop talking and we're gonna check out all the benchmarks right now. ladies and gents, I hope you found what you were looking for with those benchmarks and the thermals and all that jazz. I didn't do any acoustic testing. It's a fairly quiet case. I've got the fan set to silent right now. People always complain about Cooler Master fans being quite loud. They're not actually too bad. I don't mind them at all. If it's on your desk and you're playing games with headphones on, it doesn't really matter now, does it? I love how people always complain about that stuff. Anyways, guys, if you're interested in any of the parts, there's a PC part picker list down below in the description. I'll put everything in there. I didn't talk about the cable sleeves, but I'll put those on the PC part picker list as well. It's not really required for a build like this. It just makes it look a little bit cleaner. And I thought black ones would actually look pretty good today. And if you guys are interested in any of the music you heard here, I make all the music. Yes, it's me, ladies and gents. I make it. It's available over on our Patreon, and I'll drop a link to that down below. And if you like the video, smash the like button. If you want to support the channel, there's a little join button down there. You can get early access to videos like this one over on Floatplane. And we've also got a new series that we upload to Patreon for YouTube members and on Floatplane as well. But I guess you'll just have to do the supported thing to find out what it is, right? Are we done here now, Claire? Can we go home? Yeah. Well, we're home because we work from home. Once again, ladies and gents, thank you so very much for watching. I'm your boy Nick with Gear Seekers. You peek, we seek. And I really like MATX builds. They are my favorite type of builds to do, Claire. I absolutely love them. They're just like so small. You can fit so much powerful hardware and all that stuff in it. But I guess they're gonna have to find out till next week to see what is happening with the next MATX build, right, Claire? The next one. What CPU is this? What CPU is this? Look, it's a brand new one too. Look, I'll cover up all that stuff, but it's a brand new 3950X that I've never opened yet. So we're gonna use this. This might actually be a permanent system as well. Who doesn't love a 16-core CPU in an MATX case, right? Right. Or maybe we'll go ITX. Or maybe I could just troll them, Claire. Maybe I could. Maybe like they're gonna see the secret message at the end of the video, Claire. You think? Yeah, you know why? Why? Because I've got two 3950Xs. So maybe I should, well, I don't have two 3950Xs, do I? I've got three 3950Xs, so I think we're gonna have to do 3 builds. Now you're just being silly. Yeah, the top one is a 3950X. Claire. It's a 3900 XT. I love the secrets at the end of the video. Thanks for watching.